Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, I'm Elsa.
My name's Thomas.
And we believe that the upsurge of our nation's homeless population is one of the most dangerous plagues that we face today. Homeless citizens have been a statistic for years. However, it is not just about a few people here and there anymore. It is a mass of people deriving from distinct causes in different areas with different backgrounds. Each year, approximately 2 to 3 million individuals experience at least a night of homelessness. In order to make a change, we must find the root of this issue. We need a cure, not a treatment.
A viewpoint that some have on this issue is a universal basic income, or throwing money at the issue. As a nation, we are under the impression that the homeless population is expected to get back on their feet with the money they are given. What about their education, their past experiences? How will they find a job, and how will they sustain that job? It is known that the homeless population has grown too comfortable with being spoon-fed resources to use at their disposal whenever they like. At that point, there is no need to change their lifestyle. This is what our root issue is. Homelessness is not just one single problem, but many. So in order for us to fix this problem, we need to get more educated. We must come alongside individuals to better enforce the sustainability of life through the process of rehabilitation.
Obviously, the reason I took this job is because I feel that our country is in trouble, and we need to do everything we can to provide the right kinds of opportunities. At HUD, for instance, it was an organization that was largely focused on just getting people into programs, getting people on the roof, and that's not a bad thing, but I really want to maneuver us to a place where we're getting people out of programs and getting people to a level of self-sufficiency. So we've really aimed at that. But we really must understand the reasons behind the homelessness. There's a direct correlation with the amount of regulatory barriers, home prices, apartment prices, and homelessness. And we need to be willing to face that. We can't solve this problem by just throwing money at it. We really have to look at the etiology of the problem.
Like Secretary Ben Carson stated, the goal is no longer to get people into programs, but instead to get citizens out of these systems and raise individuals to a level of self-sufficiency. According to an article on CNBC, full-time minimum wage workers cannot afford a 2-bedroom rental anywhere in the United States and cannot afford a 1-bedroom rental in 95% of U.S. counties. This group of minimum wage workers have a name: the working poor. There are thousands of statistics that show the immense number of people living on the streets and the resources that they're not able to obtain. But now, even those with jobs aren't able to afford the rising costs of living.
To dive deeper into the world of the working poor community, we interviewed the executive director of a nonprofit called Big Table. Big Table spans across the western United States in regions like Seattle, Spokane, and San Diego, in hopes to support the impoverished community by coming alongside their clients.
My name's Kevin Finch. I'm the executive director of Big Table, and Big Table has been in existence in Washington State for 12 years. We care for those in crisis working in the restaurant and hospitality community.
All right, so first question for you. In your own words, describe what the term working poor means to you.
The working poor for me, and from our experience with Big Table, is folks that are working a minimum wage job, typically, maybe even more than one, and are just not able to make it on those hours to cover the costs for themselves or for their family. They're still falling below the level that an economist would say you've got to just make to survive.
What do you think the root of the issue is, and where do you think homelessness truly derives from?
I think typically we try to say there's one root cause of homelessness, and certainly from a Big Table standpoint, that's not what we've seen. We've seen it ends up being more of a snowball effect. Something happens that's a crisis, and then that doesn't get addressed, and then it becomes a bigger crisis, and before long, someone has no resources and they're on the street.
Homelessness is beginning to start at a younger age. So why do you think these teens are experiencing more homelessness than ever?
I do think there's been a breakdown of safe families and kind of the family system. And if you don't have a safe place to come home to, if you're getting beat up at home, or it's just a dangerous place to be for whatever reason, you're going to choose the streets, or you're going to start couch surfing. And then maybe that couch goes away and now you're on the street. So I think would track back to whether people have a safe place. And usually that's kind of a breakdown of the family.
There is a rising youth homeless population in America. About 80% of homeless youths ages 12 through 21 use drugs or alcohol to self-medicate to deal with traumatic experiences. The majority of homeless youth have either run away from a toxic household, been kicked out of an unstable home environment, abandoned by their families or caregivers, or have been involved with public systems such as foster care. This homelessness crisis starts from the ground up and has a rippling domino effect from generation to generation. We need to make a change, or else it will create a barrier for ourselves and stunt our nation's growth and development.